Collinwood in the year 1897, a time of dark and terrible secrets, a time when one evil and powerful man has been able to transfer his own mind into the body of another man. On this night, a woman has discovered that the man she was going to marry, Quentin Collins, is no longer in possession of his own mind.
You're to stay where you are until we understand each other.
Get away from me!
Do you remember what this hand did to you, my dear? I would advise you to keep quiet and listen to me. You are my prisoner, Angelique. You are going to stay here indefinitely. You are completely under my control.
No one controls me. Not even you.
Your powers have been neutralized. Now, the sooner you realize that, the sooner we can get down to business. Or would you like to try and resist this hand again, my dear?
No. You tricked me. Oh. That won't happen again.
How humiliating you are.
Where am I?
You are in a very appropriate place here, where you can be very close to your friend, Barnabas.
Barnabas?
Yes. You're in a cave not far from Widow's Hill. After Barnabas was destroyed here by Charity Trask, Edward had the cave sealed.
Oh, and do you intend this to be my tomb as well, Count Batofi?
You might as well get used to calling me Quentin.
I will never call you that. Never.
Oh, my, how human you are when you get angry.
How long do you intend to keep me here?
Indefinitely.
Does that mean until I regain my powers and I manage to escape myself?
Perhaps. The fact is, you are my prisoner now. Now, you could make things much easier for yourself by cooperating with me.
How?
By telling me what you've been up to the past few weeks.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I want to know about your secret visits to the rectory.
My visits there were not secret.
You're not going to tell me that you're an old friend of Julia Hoffman.
No, but after she arrived here and Barnabas introduced us, we became good friends.
Then why did you continue to visit the rectory after she disappeared?
I didn't know where she'd gone. I kept hoping I'd find her.
And did you also hope that you might find her in the cove near Shipwreck Point?
The cove?
I had you followed there last night.
You've been very concerned about me, haven't you?
Not about you. Only about the fact that you and Julia Hoffman have been together for some reason. Now, I want to know what it is.
It's a figment of your imagination.
Who did you go to see in the cove?
No one!
You are lying! After you returned to Collinwood, I sent someone to the cove. There was definitely another person there, my dear.
And didn't your information tell you who it was?
He couldn't. He was knocked unconscious by whoever it was.
Oh, well, I hope the poor man is all right.
Now, you know who hit him, don't you?
I haven't the slightest idea. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
Oh, did I startle you?
No, Yes, I'm afraid you did.
Oh, I'm sorry. Kitty, what is this key?
I don't know. I found it.
Where did you find it?
It was in my room. I have no idea how it got there.
Now, you must have some idea.
Well, I don't.
Kitty, I know that someone is responsible for these things happening to you. I'm trying to help you, but you must cooperate.
Edward, will you stop badgering me? Just stop
If
it.
you don't want me to help you...
Well, it isn't that.
Perhaps you should take some time to think this thing out for yourself and decide exactly where we both stand.
I am convinced that you and Julia Hoffman are plotting against me. Otherwise, you would have told me what I wanted to know by now.
There is a very good reason why I haven't told you. It is none of your business.
All right, my dear. You can stay here. I'm going to have the cave resealed. I'm going to put Aristide outside the door to stand guard. Now, let me give you something to think about. I am going to the future very soon. If you don't want to tell me what I want to know by then, you can spend the rest of your life here.
Barnabas, I need you so. And there is no way you can help me now.
Edward, I've thought everything over.
And what have you decided?
That I shall leave Collinwood the day after tomorrow.
Leave Collinwood? Whatever for?
Don't you think that it would be the best for everyone concerned?
I most certainly do not. And I can't imagine why you should think so.
Edward, you were so terribly upset with me earlier, and you had every right to be.
Oh, good Lord. Did you arrive at this decision because of the way I spoke to you earlier?
Well, actually, I've been considering it for several days now.
Well, then I think you should reconsider it at once.
But it's too late for that.
Why?
Because I've already written a letter to my mother telling her to expect me in a few days. It's already been posted.
Well, then I must insist that you write your mother another letter telling her that you've decided to stay.
Edward, I don't want to be a burden to you.
Kitty, how can you say a thing like that? You know you're more than welcome here at Collinwood. If I spoke a bit harshly to you this morning, earlier, it was because...
What, Edward?
Because I'm so terribly fond of you. I realize that you've been going through an emotional ordeal, and I have felt a certain frustration at not being able to help you through it. Please write your mother another letter. And tell her that you've decided to stay.
All right, Edward.
Good. You can use this desk. And you can have the drawing room to yourself. I have something to attend to upstairs. I've been looking for you. Where have you been?
I was walking the grounds. I needed some fresh air.
May I ask what you did to Charity Trask that has terrified her so?
I haven't done anything to that girl.
Then why has she sent me this note asking me to come to her room?
Must I remind you, Edward, that that girl has an overactive imagination?
That tells me nothing. There is some reason for her fear of you. The child was so afraid that she sent me this note through one of the servants.
Well, the girl is stark raving mad.
I admit that she is suffering from a severe aberration, but I'm convinced that it's only temporary. Let me remind you that she is a guest of Judith's in this house and should be treated accordingly. If I ever discover that there is some basis for her fear of you, I will tell Judith at once.
Wait a minute, I'm coming with you.
I don't think that's right.
I have a right to face the girl.
Who's there?
Edward.
I asked you to come alone.
Now, don't be frightened. No one is going to harm you, my dear. Since Quentin is the source of your fear, I thought it would be better for us all face this together.
All right.
Now then, you charged in this note that Quentin threatened your life.
That's right. Last night, he stood outside my door and he said, "Your days are numbered."
Is this true?
It was an emotional outburst. She conveniently forgot to tell you that there was a condition attached to it.
And what was that?
That if she went on talking about me the way she had been, her days were numbered. But of course I meant her days in this house, not her life.
Have you been saying things about Quentin?
Well, yes.
She tried to convince my fiancé that I was actually somebody else, and that I was dangerous.
I was only saying what I thought was the truth. I always trust my instincts, and my instincts tell me it wasn't Quentin. And I felt very frightened when he came near me.
Did he try to harm you in any way?
I didn't lay a hand on her.
I am asking her. Well, Charity.
When he grabbed me by the arm and started shaking me.
Oh, nonsense. I was merely trying to bring her back to her senses.
Charity, I want you to look at Quentin now. Do you feel the same way you felt last night?
We're
I
waiting.
mean, do you think this is Quentin? Or is it someone else?
We're waiting for an answer.
Well, I suppose I could have been wrong. I mean, right now he seems to be the way he always was.
I see. Then you should have no reason to be frightened of him, should you?
No.
Charity, I don't know what made you say those things last night, but you must not do it again. Now, my sister and I will do everything we can to make you happy here, and we will protect you from harm in every way. But you must cooperate.
What do you mean?
You must learn to control yourself. Because if you don't, we'll have to send you somewhere where they will look after you.
Would I be disturbing you if I played some music?
Not at all. We're just writing a letter. I'm almost finished. Well, what is that?
Mozart.
Your taste in music seems to have undergone an abrupt change.
What do you mean?
Well, the only music I ever hear you play is that favorite song of yours.
Well, change is the first law of life. Problem is, some people can adapt to changes. Hasn't your own life undergone some various phases of change?
Yes, I suppose it has.
dear Mother. Everything is going splendidly here at Collinwood. I would not be surprised if by the time you read this, Edward has asked me to marry him. You may mark down this day, October the 20th, 1797 as the turning point.
1797?
That was 100 years ago. Why did I write that date? What is the matter with me?
Something wrong?
No, nothing at all. What do you mean?
You were reading your letter and you mentioned the date 1797.
I was thinking of something else, that's all. Will you excuse me?
Yes, of course. 1797.
Well, well, well. The millennium has arrived. You're actually reading a book. Have you decided to become cultured, or has the Police Gazette ceased its publication? The Collins family history, no less. And classical music. Quentin, what has gotten into you?
I've merely decided that I've been missing very much of life by being the way I've been.
Well, wonders never cease. I do hope that this surprisingly fresh attitude of yours will extend to your relationship with the rest of the family.
Looks like me. $17.97. I am waiting for you.